Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to Tay TV. My reaction video for today, I will be reacting to Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 officially done. Filming storylines, theories, and predictions. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Whatever videos you guys would like me to react to, leave it in the comment section and I will react to. And as you guys know, Raising Kanan Season 2 is now out, but I decided I'm not going to watch Raising Kanan. It's no point, I'm not into it. But when Tariq's show come back out, I will be watching Tariq's show. It's going to be good, and I'm still waiting to see if they're going to bring Ghost back or not. But to me, I think they are going to bring Ghost back, because that's what everybody is really waiting for, to see if Ghost is still alive, because we really never actually saw his official dead body. If we would have saw his dead body, then we could all say, yeah, okay, Ghost is dead. But we didn't see his dead body. I don't think Ghost is dead. Let's get into this video.
I got bullets for the whole Tahada family when I get out. You don't even have proof it was them. Anybody could have crossed you. You know, sometimes it's the ones you love the most.
So one of the biggest questions when it comes to Power Book 2 Ghost is, when are we getting Season 3? And we can confirm Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 has officially wrapped up with its filming, with Michael Rainey Jr., Woody, and Gianni all posting how they just wrapped up filming their final scenes. And this really is one of the most highly anticipated seasons from these current spin-offs, especially because everybody wants to know what happens with Tariq and Blanca Rodriguez, what happens with Effie, and what's their background. What's going to happen with the Tahadas?
Yeah, Effie background story is going to be explored in this season.
And storyline predictions in just a moment. But first, when will we actually get Season 3? Now, if we were to start with the timeline from the beginning, we've got Raising Kanan starting on August the 14th. And if they have a mid-season break, then we can expect Raising Kanan to finish on October the 23rd. But what we need to bear in mind is BMF Season 2, which I will be covering just like I did with Season 1. But last year the order ran with Raising Kanan, BMF, and then Power Book 2 Ghost, followed by Force, and I do expect something very similar. The only difference to last year is Raising Kanan is premiering a month later than it did in 2021, so naturally this will push the shows on by 1 month. But there are of course a few scenarios that could change things. For example,
okay, so Tariq's show could come out the beginning of December, won't be done until mid-February.
They may even decide to change the order and give us Ghost before BMF. They could decide to give us a season finale of Raising Kanan along with the premiere of BMF Season 2, very similar to last year. So there are a few scenarios they could run with, but I really do think an announcement is coming soon. So let's watch this space. So, starting with the Tahadas, one of the biggest takeaways from Season 1 was Zeke's death. Zeke was always Moni's #1 plan to leave the game, but Mecha returning ruined everything. So we saw this snowball effect with every single one of the Tahadas' actions having consequences, which ended up with Lorenzo killing Zeke. And I'm sure we can all agree at some point in Season 3, the secret will be revealed, and I think Lorenzo's death will follow. And judging by Mary J. Blige's recent comments on the Crew Has a Podcast, I think it could very well be Monet killing Lorenzo herself. Now with Drew, Season 2 was very different compared to Season 1. We saw him lose his love for art because he could no longer draw. He'd also had enough of Monet telling him what he can and can't do. But the real game-changing moment for Drew came when Lorenzo was released from prison, because Lorenzo's always preferred Drew to take over the Tahada organization.
He preferred Drew over Kane, and Kane got mad at that.
And how he became darker and darker. He lost his love for art, he was ruthless in killing Kino, and where he failed to kill Lil Guap in Season 1, he sure made up for it during the Mecha heist. But Evie's still a huge weakness, and once we do see his death, that's when I think we're going to see Drew fully turn to the game, and where we see this transformation, which is really bad news for Kane, because we all know he wants to be running things for the Tahadas. So naturally when this happens, I think they've already foreshadowed a battle between Kane and Drew. So let's talk about Kane and his ongoing battle with Tariq St. Patrick, because even though they came together to bring down Mecha, they will never be friends, and Tariq will never trust Kane, especially after the shit he pulled with Ramirez's badge.
And when he found out what Kane and Effie did to Lauren.
And to make things worse, he was also involved in Lauren's death. So I do expect him to reignite the fire, whether it be with Tariq or with his own family, because each and every single one of the Tejadas are always doing what's best for themselves. And someone else who I think we need to watch when it comes to Kane is Effie, especially after Effie reached out to Kane with the whole Lauren situation, because these are two characters who understand the game and were also on the same wavelength. And when it gets to the stage where Tariq finds out what Effie did with Lauren, Kane may be there just to stir things up, similarly to the way he did with Brayden, because let's not forget who Kane was mentored by, Mecca. Now, when it comes to Diana, she was someone who stirred up a lot of shit.
When Diana told everything, that was my favorite episode.
Especially when it came to the whole reveal at the dinner table, but she didn't exactly get what she wanted. She wanted to go to school and be closer to Tariq. She wanted to hustle and do what Effie does, but she got neither when Lorenzo was putting all the Tejadas in their positions. But she definitely is learning how to hustle, especially with the way she tricked Tariq with the crocodile tears, and also how she used the powdered sugar situation to benefit herself, which ended up with Tariq owing her a favor, which in turn ended up with Davis McLean and Cooper Saxe helping her release Lorenzo. So no doubt, she really is becoming a little hustler. But I do think the most intriguing aspect is her relationship with Monet, because these are two characters who are so much alike, and it's because of the way Monet raised her. Without knowing, she raised a miniature version of herself, which is why they're always clashing. But more importantly, also why Diana is one of the most, if not the most dangerous Tejada. Now, when it comes to Tariq, I really do think he's at a crossroad in his life. He had a choice to leave the game, yet he chose to stay.
Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweetest deals online when you shop from major retailers like Amazon and Target.
And you can really tell he really is fighting with himself when it comes to what he thinks is the right choice. He's also got Brayden and Effie by his side, who will definitely want to continue in the game, which could possibly be on Wall Street, because Course Correct is dead. So they not only need a new way of doing business, but they need a new way of cleaning their money. But there's also the situation with Monet and Blanca Rodriguez, and it really is a never-ending vicious cycle with the St. Patrick's and the game, law enforcement, and troubled relationships, which always ends up in death, especially with those who get close to Tariq. For example, Jabari, Carrie, and Lauren. So I think the relationship with Effie really will be a bumpy ride, and I think he's going to have a tough decision to make in Season 3, when and if he does find out the truth. Does he stick with Effie, or does he leave her for betraying him? Although I think she'll argue she was saving him. And on Effie, this is the season where we're about to learn about her backstory, and potentially who her brother was that was killed in a robbery gone wrong. And if it wasn't from any of the robberies in Power, I really would love for them to make a connection to Kane, and him being the one who could have killed her brother in one of his legs. Because as I mentioned before, I really do think we need to watch Effie and Kane in Season 3. But what about Rashad Tate and Power Book 5 influence? Because so far we've seen the return of Tate in Power Book 2 Ghost, with him picking up his political career back up at the expense of Rick Sweeney, with the help of Tariq St. Patrick. But Tate will be back in Season 3, and I really do wonder, is this finally the season which sparks influence? Let's wait and see. Now, the other storylines we need to watch are Davis McLean, Theo Rollins, and Cooper Saxe, especially considering Theo is probably in prison for something Davis did, and with him mentioning he's 4 inches taller, I wonder if Saxe actually finds out who the real killer was, which really would make this an interesting side plot, because it may just be time for Cooper Saxe. But with Saxe turning over to the right side of the law, and with Blanca Rodriguez returning, are we going to get any more returning characters like Two-Bit, Roberto,
yeah, Two-Bit need
maybe
to come
Destiny,
back.
just to make things worse for Tariq St. Patrick, maybe Ramona to set up Power Book 5 influence, because if you're not dead, there's always a chance you could come back. So returning characters, and possibly another hallucination scene of Kanan, is definitely something I can see happening. But what about new characters? Because Power Book 2 Ghost definitely needs a new connect, so I really do hope we get introduced to a really ruthless Milan or Jason Mitchell type of connect. Someone who's intimidating, controlling, and goes
I wonder
into
who's
our
going to be the
characters.
connect. That's going to be
Because as I mentioned
interesting too.
before, Tariq is at crossroads, and ultimately he can choose to leave the game. But what if that decision was taken away from him, similarly to the way Milan and Jason Mitchell did with Ghost? Because that's when I want to see how Tariq St. Patrick navigates the whole situation, especially if he wants to be worthy of his father's name. He needs to go through what Ghost went through, and also build an empire like James St. Patrick. But last but not least, we can't end this video without talking about Tommy Egan, especially after the crossover they set up in Power Book 4 Force Season 1. So the question is, Will they continue this back and forth between Chicago and New York? I definitely think so.
Tommy's gonna
Especially
come
with
back
law
in the
enforcement.
future.
And I can really see these images dropping onto Blanca Rodriguez or Cooper Saxe' desk. And then Tommy's ghost life status really will be rumbled. And an early prediction from me is, I don't think we're going to see Tommy in Power Book 2 Ghost, but I think we're going to hear about him and possibly a phone call between Tariq and Tommy towards the end of Season 3. Potentially with Tariq warning Uncle Tommy, Blanca Rodriguez knows he's alive. So that's a breakdown of some theories and storyline predictions, as well as how Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 has wrapped up with its filming. So let's just keep our eyes peeled, because I do think an announcement on a release date will be soon. But drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section on all things Season 3. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related.
This is it for this reaction video. Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 is going to be a good season. Let me know what you guys think. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on my social medias below. Thank you.